Welcome back to Viewer Discretion / Love is Kimes Reunion Edition. As I put this on Blue Sky, I don't know if I put it anywhere else. We're going to be talking about, of course, the Love is Blind reunion today, but we are also going to start recapping Paradise.
Yeah.
And our hope is to put out a recap earlier next week because Paradise comes out on Monday. So you might get this by Tuesday, even earlier in your ears and on YouTube as well. Before we get to that, we've got to start with the Love is Blind reunion.
What a crossover episode.
Yeah, right. Like if which member, how would the mailman do on Love is Blind?
Right.
Okay, we'll get to that. But first I want to
Both
start
incels, so I get it. Yes.
Actually, there is a lot of like thematic crossover. Yeah. But anyways, I want to make a blanket statement.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best reunion they've ever had.
Oh, okay.
Agree or disagree? This is, I think, well, it had everything. It had a legitimately two love stories. It had two, at least, surprises, as evidenced by the fact that I texted the group chat, oh my God, twice, because I was ahead of you guys watching it. It had multiple villains. It had confrontations. And I want to give a shout out. Nick Lachey.
Good job. Good job, Nicholas.
Hit it out of the park. This was I was about to say his flu game. This wasn't his flu game. This, to me, was his single best performance as a host in the history of the show. I thought he smashed it.
Yep.
I thought he asked many good, the questions I wanted to ask, and then they would cut to him and he would ask them, and I was cheering from the couch. David, how did you feel about the reunion?
I thought the hosts were great, but don't get too comfortable. But yeah, I do think that it is still, I was thinking about this because it is one of the great reunion episodes. And I think part of it was because nobody there was really doing reality TV. You know, like the stuff when they tried to do reality TV all fell flat. Everybody trying to do reality TV fell flat. And we'll get to those specific moments. Right. But it was more real moments. Like I think a lot of times we talked about people come in with the group chats. They've prepared their speeches. Yes. They know what they're going to say. This felt more like an organic thing. There were some of the legitimate surprises, I think, that caught people off guard. So they didn't have time to do that. And I think this group is a little bit more disjointed.
That's why. I was about to say, I have a theory as to why, which is the group didn't divide along gender lines.
Yeah.
And I really think so many of the reunions in the past, I wouldn't say have been marred, but have been almost like preordained. Like you could tell the women and the men came in with different game plans, and who's winning the divorce. Not the case here. In fact, in some places, men sided with women. Yeah. Women. I think everybody will point.
Well, that was disjointed along.
Yeah, different lines, perhaps. Yeah. I think people will point to the Devonta thing as being symbolic of that, but I actually thought it was a moment earlier on when at the end of the Amber Jordan discussion, Vanessa asked Jess like if she had anything to say, and Jess, who seems like of course a wonderful person, was like, I just feel sad. Like they're both really good people. And I was like, I thought, wow, that feels like how a normal person would talk and not somebody who came trying to make a television moment. You know what I mean, David?
Yeah, I agree. It felt like really organic and authentic reactions to things. I don't know if it was part of the prep or part of the lack of prep, or if the questions were not, as explicitly laid out beforehand, or something. Like there was something about it that just felt like they were really getting to organic moments that nobody was really prepared for.
All right, let's go couple by couple.
Let's do it.
Vic and Christine.
Okay, great. That's it. Good.
Yeah. We've talked about this. I saw the internet people saying they deprived us of a love story. Yeah. About 3 minutes of this, I was like, come on, let's keep moving. I love them. They're the best. So happy for them. Truly soulmates. Honestly seem like wonderful human beings. I do not need to see them talking on my television. I don't think they want it either.
Yeah, not at all. I'm happy. It's like one of those things that's like that you're happy exists, but you don't really need to see it. Like a good avant-garde movie, like a good Shakespeare at the Park. It's like, I'm glad that they're doing that. I'm glad somebody's going to see it. I don't really want to see Midsummer Night Dream on Thursday, but I'm glad that it's available for people right now.
Vic and Christine is the couple for people who think listening to an audiobook isn't reading the real thing.
Right.
They did make sure to really drive home we sent them to Malibu because we only sent 6 couples to Mexico. They're really trying to quiet the conspiracy theories. Fine. All that needs to be mentioned. They live together now. It's a gift every day. Vic met Christine's father. Yeah. She forgave him. That was something that they alluded to. And I thought that was genuinely moving. Like, they talked about how he sat in the car and then she brought him in, and they're lovely. I've seen some pretty toxic discourse around. I mean, it's Love Is Blind, it's everything, and like, I just cannot fathom having an ounce of dislike for these two humans. They are fine. Legitimate, wonderful people.
They're going to be married forever. It's great.
Vic and Christine are like the people at work you get along with, and they're in the group chat, and when everyone else is talking, they don't really just like hit like a little haha button, but they never contribute anything of themselves. You know, they're just like, they're like above the fray, and that's great. I love people like that.
Yeah,
it's not me.
And they're great to hang out with when everybody's together, but when just like everybody sort of like filters out and it's just you guys, it's like there's nothing I would want to do less than like know more about your life right now.
All right, they're wonderful. Amber and Jordan. This was the saddest realist part, I would say. Like, realist in that, like, it just felt so real. It felt like a thing that happens a lot to people in real life. You and I were very skeptical of the marriage, and we were right to be. They were married for 4 months. He said a lot changed in that time. She had trust issues. They never moved in together. The thing I thought was interesting about David, I want to hear thoughts on this, is it almost felt like you could feel the momentum shifting in the conversation in terms of how the audience was perceiving them.
Yes.
So it starts off with like Amber saying he only wanted to be in Columbus 5 or 6 nights a week. It's only 45 minutes. And I'm hearing that and thinking like, oh yeah, she's got a point here. This man did not actually want to be married to a woman with a child. And I think the crowd was kind of that.
Yeah.
Then he said, I didn't want to go here. But a month after we got married, you came to a wedding, blacked out drunk. And she was like, well, and he's like, I was the best man. I was like, she said, well, you put me in a car. He's like, yeah, because you were wasted.
Yeah.
He said she would scream at her. She expressed that she got very upset with him because he broke up with her and didn't tell the daughter. And then he said he apologized for that and says he did have the bond with the daughter, but then she says, don't come into someone's life. She talks about how her daughter built like a memory box for him. And then she says, don't come into someone's life. You're going to do that to someone. And she storms off. And in that moment, I felt the audience had shifted all the way back to Jordan. So what was your feeling about that momentum?
Exactly the same feeling. It felt like this dude is a jerk, wasn't really into it, didn't want to parent the kids. 45 minutes. Once they said 45 minutes, I was like, come on, give me a break. Yeah. Then I think this is a tactical error on her part because they could have just left it at that. And she kind of kept. So this is my theory. I think that she was wanting to get to that you don't just do that moment. Like when I said reality show moments that kind of fell flat, I think she wanted to have that moment. I think that was a moment she wanted to have where she's going to yell at him and storm off about this thing. And I think she wanted to get to that thing where they could have ended probably 3 minutes earlier and it could have just been it didn't work out. But once she kept pushing, he hit her with you got blackout drunk at the wedding where I was the best man. And that shifted. The audience moved totally in the other direction at that moment. She had no rebuttal for it. She had no comeback. Did not deny it. Yeah. Her thing was like, you left me in the car. And he's like, I'm the best man at the wedding. Like, I'm not going to, like, what am I going to do? My wife got blackout drunk. I got to go. It's clearly one of my best friends in the entire world's wedding. And then by the time she yelled at him and stormed off, everybody was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah, I think her not denying that. And then I also think when she started talking about her daughter, it had the opposite effect of, I think, what she probably intended. Yeah. Which was instead of, I was speaking for myself, but it felt like the audience felt this way. Instead of you watching that and being like, what a jerk, I found myself thinking, why was your daughter in this situation?
Yeah.
And which goes back to the central question we've had, which is it responsible to bring young children into the Love Is Blind timeline? And you and I have decided it's kind of not. And like, we don't feel great about it. You have to be really affirmed. Like, you got to be really, really set up. I think you almost have to find someone else with a kid.
Yeah.
Or you know, like, and especially, you know, the guy said he didn't want kids. Like, it's just, and he went along with it, and he was clear-eyed about it. But I do think it was hard for everyone to watch her talk about her daughter and not feel like he was right when he said she kind of weaponized it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I feel bad, but I don't want to judge her decision. But I will say this: if I were dating somebody, and after 4 months, my kid feels so attached to them that they want to make a memory box for them to come back, I would feel like I did something wrong as a parent. Me personally, like that's like I know they were married and all that stuff, but like that's I would feel like I mishandled that situation.
I think it's kind of, we'll get to the Mike and Emma, but like everybody was like, yeah, this was right that this
yeah.
That's kind of what had to happen here. Yeah. Like they had to have the adult conversation about like, if we don't have a living plan,
right?
Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm always reluctant to make like sweeping generalizations about like what people with kids, single parents should do, whatever. But I do think you probably should have a cohabitation plan or a schedule or a firm thing, because there's one thing I know from having a kid. It's that routine is literally the most important thing that I've come to realize. And anything that is chaotic is not great. And I feel bad because I don't think she's a bad person. And she, honestly, I would say she redeemed herself.
Calling Chris trash every 2 seconds.
She kind of brought me back because, okay, so Sheely storms off. AD does an incredibly boring side interview with Kia Tyler and not Kevin. Poor Kevin didn't get the question. Also, her questions were so sorry. Okay, you know what? If there's a job that I do think you and I should have, sideline reporter at the Love Is Blind reunion.
Yes, let's do it.
How have you grown from this? No. You should have asked them some of the stuff we were talking about, which was, when did you know that you were going to say no, Kia? And stuff like that.
They're going off script. They're like, just ask them some softball questions. No, what did you know?
I would have asked Kevin, what % of you was Tyler? What % of you was Kia?
Yeah.
And Tyler left. I would love to know that. But instead, we get to hear about their personal growth. Great. Yeah. Gigi, how has being a dad changed the way you love Lauren? No, thanks. So Amber returns, and I do want to give her a little bit of a credit because this is the hardest I left in the reunion. Yes. The girls talk about how much they love her, and there's kind of 2 separate girl groups. I think that should be noted. Amber, Jess, Emma feel more aligned, right? And then and maybe Brittany, I don't know, Chris, but then Bree, Ashley, Priyanka. But anyways, they talk about how she's, she was like a mama bear and kind of a man hater, which made me laugh. And they're like, and Vanessa mentions Chris, and she says, I still hate you. And then she says, well, you're the kind of guy I'm talking, literally says to his face, you're the kind of guy I'm talking about when they say I hate men. And then she turns to Jordan and says, you're not like Chris and an overall douchebag. And she says, Connor, you're fine. Vic, you're great. Mike, I don't have terrible things to say about you. And Mike's like, yeah, that whole very good Amber stuff. Is a legitimately funny person.
She is. She's a hilarious person. I think that was probably a pre-scripted moment that she wanted to have. She wanted to have her 2 moments to storm up. This one was executed to perfection, and it was a great redemption moment because it made me kind of forget. Yeah. Hey, you got blackout drunk at your husband's wedding.
It just shows how far you can get by being funny. And,
right. Yes.
And I didn't feel sorry for Chris at all. Like there's sometimes when that happens, you and I have like not liked certain pylons in the past. I was like, pylons?
Give it to him. Yeah. Especially because we didn't know Nick and what was coming. So
Bree and Connor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. What was your reaction to the news that they're still together?
It took me so by surprise. I was kind of like I was watching, but I was kind of like, felt like I knew what they were going to say. I felt like it was going to be, I wasn't myself and grow and we still like each other. We're still friends, When she said they were still together, it was legitimate double take, what the hell territory. And it felt, I wanted Connor to blink. I was like, blink twice. Like, is everything okay? Like, do we need to come save you? But they seem happy.
My friend Adam, shout out to Adam, listener to the show, said, "Hey, some guys are just subs to me." And like when I look at it through the lens of like some people just don't mind a shall we say abrasive personality. I've been around a lot of couples like this. I don't like it. It's not for me. You and I had a whole conversation about this.
Not at all. Right.
The crazy thing was too, it was on display immediately. Like she could not freaking help herself. Like when she's like, Nick's like, you kind of knocked him, down as a frat guy. You feel bad. And she says, yeah, I've realized there's a fine line. Connor reveals they're still together. Everybody freaks out. And Nick's like, oh, and like something about the suit. And she's like, yeah, he forgot the suit. There's something about just like the way she instantly jumped in to make fun of him where I was just like, you're exactly the same.
And his place is called the basement. Like that's, it's just, it's, but hey, you like it, I love it. That is an official, you like it, I love it territory for him. Like, hey, fine. That's what you want. Go for it. We can't say nothing to you.
I mean, he came off great. In this, all because they had him talk about the Chris part. Chris comes out later, of course, but they talk about Chris hitting on Bree and lying about it and lying to his face. They played the scene. Mm-hmm. Everything Connor said, I thought was great. He said, Bree's a grown woman. I trust her. I don't think about him at all. He said something I really liked, which was, he said, undercutting your buddy has never worked. Yeah. My history of like going after women. And Nick even tries to get him to like be a little more confrontational. I felt like he was like, in Ohio, we got bro code. And he's like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. Like I actually thought Connor was great in that moment. Yeah.
Like a testosterone free.
Nope.
Yeah. Like the testosterone free beta male he is. Just
to be clear, we're just joking. We don't think he's a beta male. It's what Chris would say.
You think she secretly wanted him to like kind of fight? Like that. Like
I think the flip side of it is a man who likes a woman like that is often with a woman who likes a man like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Sometimes it works, guys. Sometimes it's not for me. I don't like to be around it, but sometimes it works. And when I say like that, I just mean someone who tolerates like being like because if we remember from the relationship, it wasn't like Hannah and Nick from Washington. Yeah. Where I compared them to her because she was always nagging him, kind of just being, and then he was like sick of it. Connor never said he was tired of it. He was never like really. He
was fine with it the whole time. Like I think he was legitimately taken aback when she dumped him in the show.
100%. Yeah. So Nick, again, to his credit, did ask her if she thought she indulged Chris too much, and she said that she apologized. She owned it. I believe her. Like, I don't think you and I never thought she was into Chris. We never thought. The thing that bothered us was just personality stuff. Yeah. And it appears not to be a problem for them. So, all right.
Yeah, all right. We'll see.
AD interviews Sarah and Joey, who are together for those who have been off of Love is Blind social media universe. They sat them next to Ben, which was very funny. And who's Sarah's ex. That probably would have been a wow moment if you didn't already know.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. This is the right way, though, I think, to do former contestant stuff is just to like very quickly be like, what's the tea? And then keep it moving. So, all right. Chris and Jess.
Okay.
So Nick, I said at the beginning that he came in. This was a great episode. He hates this man.
Yes. Yeah. I think Chris may be the most hated person by the people in the show, possibly that we've seen. I mean, Shake is probably there, but I think people kind of I don't think people were as surprised by Shake as they are with Chris. I think Chris has touched a nerve with every single person the way that nobody else has.
I think it's because Chris taps into like this phenomenon in a way Shake didn't. Like Shake was just like, oh, classic guy who just wants a hot girl. Okay. Right. But Chris, it was more than the physical preference. It was the language, the red-pilled stuff. I think just everyone in our life, everyone in the world now is like, deals with that to some varying degree or sees it on the internet. So he's kind of this, we talked about this, like the manifestation of this stuff in a way we haven't really seen a lot of on TV. And so I think it was a very, again, I see people like, why'd Netflix choose a guy? thought it was kind of like interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, Nick says, you managed to piss off the women and the men. That's never happened. He's sitting next to Alex, who's like, the whole time, it really made me laugh. He just basically eats SHIT over and over. He does. He doesn't try to defend himself like Alex does.
Yeah.
Nick says, what was going through your mind watching back? I'm not proud. That's it. Connor, I'm not sure what that says about you, but what do you want to say? He says, I'm sorry. He says, he even owns the fact that like he brought up Bree indulging it. He says, I put her in that situation. Jess, he, over and over and over, he just kind of hangs his head and apologizes.
Yeah.
What did you think about, one, the fact that he showed up at all, and two, his approach going into this, which was just to eat it?
Did he know he was there? Like, he seemed just
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed to be. It feels like when you're sort of reprimanding like a teenager, and they're just telling you what you want to hear. Like, it didn't. It just felt like he was just going through the motions. I mean, I feel like if there was like real remorse, you kind of come prepared with a makeshift speech or something. He was just kind of like, "Yep, that's right. Yep, I was wrong." They had to kind of get the actual apology out of him, like the actual I'm sorry. They had to kind of pull it out of him. It was absolutely just not. I didn't find anything remotely gratifying about anything that he said. I don't think I expected to really, but it just kind of was. He was kind of there to take it and go about his day.
To your point, then they pushed, again, credit to the hosts. Then they pushed on him on, like, it wasn't just like, hey, you were bad. They like got specific, right? So they asked Jess if she felt, Vanessa asked her, there was anything other than physical, looks that led to their demise, or Chris, whatever, you breaking up or not breaking up with her. And she says, absolutely. When someone is insecure, they want to bring other people down. It was bravado and dominance and this alpha stuff that was never shown to me. She says he was insecure about finances, stability. Nick turns to him and says, seems like you disappeared after seeing her home, which was the conclusion that we and many people took from watching it. And he denies it. He just says he put the physical, he keeps saying it was just the physical over the emotion. And it's clear that they're not buying it.
Right.
But it's to your point. I think that's why it felt hollow, because he is sticking to his story that it was just about looks. And I think the host did a great job of bringing out the fact that it wasn't.
Yeah. And Jess was incredulous about it too. She was like, there's no way. She's, I was there. Like, she didn't say that, but you could tell, like, I was there. The physical was not that much of an issue. Like, that was sort of the undertone of what she was saying. And I think it would take something bigger than what he has to admit that. And he ain't ready to admit that. He's just never going to admit that. And I think we all know that was the truth.
There was something really fascinating about this reunion. And I would put Alex and Chris in the same boat here, which is you see something you don't get to see that much in real life, which is when these guys who believe in like this sort of alpha mentality and facts over feelings, that's Alex, or all this podcast,
right,
internet manosphere thought, like ideology, shall we say? Because I think Alex is similar, honestly.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
About
absolutely.
it, same language, same kind of, like I can like talk my way out of anything. And then when you put them in the real world and you put them in front of questioning, it falls apart so quickly.
Yeah.
And it was almost, for me, kind of gratifying to see that on a national, like on this stage, because I do think it's like useful for people to see how thin it is and how quickly easy it is rather to take it apart.
Yeah, I think because I think that's great, because I think one of the things that we're exposed to when we see these guys so much is the podcaster, right? Yeah. And part of being the podcaster is you are equipped with all of the rhetorical tools at all times, right? Like, you're never going to corner like one of these loser podcast guys, like the Fit and whatever, those guys, and be like, what about this? And they're going to be like, oh, I don't know, because they know how to talk about that stuff. They know the rhetoric. A regular dude who just follows this stuff, like you said, when interrogated in any meaningful way, they just don't have it. They just do not have anything to hold on to. And we're going to get to Alex. I felt like the sort of teardown of Alex was more gratifying than this, but it is like in tandem. It's
like they watch these guys who are like, "Demate me, bro," and Alex is trying to like use the tools. Like, well, when did that? Give me an example, and it doesn't work.
Right,
it doesn't work. Like it falls apart. With Chris, I think what was telling, it wasn't so much that he was trying to use these tools as it was he was completely unwilling to even do it.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff we saw from him, when he was unchallenged or on TV, he didn't do any of that. And if anything, I would say this: if there's anything that I would want to see, I think I would have loved to watch him talk about that. I would have loved for them to play a scene of him talking about like to Brie, like the language he used about da-da-da. And I would have loved for Nick to turn to him and be like, tell me more about this like mentality. Like, why do you think it's effective or something? Because I just think it's so important for people to see.
What's so cool about a Charles Schwab account?
They did show the scene, and this is a great job at the reading. I was gratified of the women and Ashley. Well, she's not morbidly obese. She's and Brie and Jess said that it hurt her. She said that was the only part that hurt her, and Ashley apologized, and they all said they were kind of like we talked about, like a little bit stunned by it. And I think but I was glad that they held them accountable for that. So.
Yeah. It's notable from what we do know that Bree and that it was that specific sort of crew that was part of that. Yeah.
Yep. The different female crews.
Yeah.
And then we got like a legit surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So Gigi's doing another interview. I'm like, tuning out. It's a guy named Harimal.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name Harimal. I think I just wrote it down. I forgot. Good-looking doctor.
Yeah.
She asks him. They use it to advertise like a game or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a puzzle. Like well, anyway, sorry. If you're doing the Love Is Blind puzzles.
Love a good sponsored content relationship reveal. So they're like, it turns out you're involved with the current cast member.
Yeah.
Please give me your reaction to the reveal that he is dating the other good-looking doctor.
I loved it. It was a legitimate cheer moment. It was like Meryl Streep and like J-Lo. Like,
I actually shrieked. I did a little yelp, like my dog got his tail stuffed on. Like it was what a great television moment, honestly. Yeah. And they hit it.
Yeah,
I can see this anywhere.
Absolutely, it was nowhere. I mean, because also since the reunion tape, there've been so many things have been leaked and things like that. I didn't see this one coming because one of the things we wanted coming out of Jess on the show was we were shipping her with all kind of cool people. We were like, she needs to go find somebody. Who could she be with? And the guy was right there, and he delivers a monologue.
Okay, it was a little over the top, but
who cares?
Honestly, because it happened after all of the stuff, and I was just like, keep going.
Let him talk. Let him do it.
Every room you walk into gets a little bit brighter. Every person you speak to is more complete. I love you. So it's like 10 out of 10. I was blind. Yeah. No notes.
Yes. It was the end of a Hallmark movie, and I was there for it the whole time.
All right. Mike and Emma, I have a really one only. This one is not going to be super long. Nick asks the correct question immediately, which is, were you surprised by Emma's yes? It's the thing we talked about because the whole thing was so weird. And he says, we talked a couple days prior. We both felt we weren't in the right position. We agreed to say no, continue to explore. I felt blindsided, thus confirming what you and I thought. Vanessa says, we encourage couples not to make a decision before the wedding. Her rationale was because you don't know how you're going to feel until you're standing in front of them. I was like, or they want the cameras on them.
I felt like I was at the end of like a timeshare presentation where they're like, we just want people to don't make any decisions till the end of the timeshare, until your 90 minutes are up.
Have you ever done one of those?
Oh, I do. I'm a timeshare merchant. So this is a very important thing. So look, we already get our Disney bennies. Shout out to, that. So, but like, whenever we get them, the thing come to the timeshare presentation, 4 days, 3 nights, Orlando, every single time, bloop, sign me up. I'm going. I will sit in the presentation.
Are you good at the exit? Getting out of there,
the thing is we do. So this is kind of hit a snag. We're in sort of a crisis right now because it's hit a little snag. Because one of the things you do, you go there and you just don't, don't let them know about any sort of financial. Hey, we're just kind of making it. We got these things. We did one recently in New York because like I said, like this is, and so I was like, hey, we're just trying to figure this thing out. We got wedding to pay for. Not really opportunity. Guy goes, hey, you're the guy at ESPN. And I was like, no. Like, and I was like, I don't think we can do these anymore.
Still do a timeshare, right?
But then if they know these things, they're gonna like want you to. They're gonna hound you more. They're gonna hound you. Or
you're gonna get the better timeshares, the fanciest ones.
Oh, I don't want. I'm not gonna buy a timeshare. I just want the.
You might get the better free stuff with like.
I should. Yeah.
Ladder of time. I grew up. We used to do them when I was a kid. It's how I got my Game Boy. Shout out to the Sedona.
Nice. Okay.
1997 or whatever. But I don't do them now, in part because I do not enjoy the exit part.
I hate them.
In other part because I don't want to throw my husband under the bus, but like I swear to God, he was almost convinced. He was like, Dan's making some really good points. I was like, we got to get out of
there. Get out of there.
I was like the nicest man. And
you got to go one band, one sound. When you go in, we're going to say no. It's just 90. But this time we had to bring our son to the timeshare this last time. And he couldn't handle the line. The line was like too much. It was too much for him. So he was freaking out. So, but yeah, if you see me in Orlando, chances are I'm staying at a timeshare to catch me at the presentation Sunday morning, bright and early.
Emma says something which I think I don't know. She says she thought saying yes was a declaration of eventually wanting to have kids. He was like, ah.
Yeah, I don't know, but
they made it seem as, I don't know if this was an edit, but when Emma said she was single and she's working on herself, it looked like Brie rolled her eyes. But I don't want to. Yeah. That was an interesting edit moment. I don't know if you noticed that. And Mike's he's been seeing someone for 7 months, completely unsurprisingly. If you had asked me what's going on with these two people, I would have guessed that, because I never felt like they should have been together. And
at all. Yeah.
The declaration of kids thing. What was your take on that before we keep it moving?
Overall, Emma seemed like a nice person, not a bad person at all. Very weird. Like if you take the season in totality, a very weird season.
Yeah.
On her part, she made weird decisions even in the pods.
Yeah.
And ending by saying yes, no, yes, yes, no, yes, and then saying that was a declaration instead of just saying I want kids, so yes. And then that being the end, it was a very odd series of decisions that she made the entirety of the season, and it culminates in the weirdest decision of it all.
Yeah, I couldn't follow it. It was just like a very strange. He was pretty consistent, and with her, it was hard to follow. I think it's entirely possible she was trying to indicate that she was open to it, but a little more clear.
Yeah, she could. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's for the best that they're not together. And again, and this will be reflecting the power rankings, they are firmly upper middle class. They're fine. They both came out fine.
They're good.
She looked great too. I loved her dress.
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Hope we didn't get any follow up about her nieces and nephews, what they think about her sister's declaration of "I wish I never had these children."
Maybe they're too young to watch the show. All right, Alex and Ashley. I guess we already covered a lot of this with Alex, but when he was being questioned, because Nick starts off by saying, "You talked about confidence, but your story kept changing," and Alex is like, "No, it didn't. No, it didn't."
Yeah.
Alex, can you point to the gaps? Nick's like, it seemed like Ashley thought there were. And he was like, only when the cameras were rolling.
I think Nick got legitimately pissed. I think he was legitimately, and I was annoyed for him. I think he was legitimately annoyed by Alex.
I think annoyed is the exact right word.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like with Chris, it was like, oh, he thinks you're a bad person. I think with Alex, it felt to me like Nick is how a lot of us feel in dealing with these types of podcast listening. But when someone thinks they're smarter than you and they're not, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. It felt like Alex thought he was smarter than, and I think that's how Nick. I'm speculating here, but it almost felt like he was like, "Are you trying to outwit me here? What are we doing, bro? Because you still sound like a liar, even if you're not."
I'm going back to what you were saying about the podcast, bro, and this stuff falling apart. Part of it's falling apart because we see it. Like you can't make up your own story in a way. You know, like the podcast bro, part of the podcast bro thing, the red pill thing is, yeah, let me tell you the story. I dated this woman and she just couldn't hang and she just couldn't, you know, like all this stuff. And she wasn't that we have all the video footage to show that it did not work out because you're kind of a loser. Like that's really where it fell apart with Alex. Chris is the same way. Like we know because we've seen that like you can't create your own narrative when we've seen the video.
It's a great point. It's like the reality that he wanted to craft, or both of his past and also what happened on this season, was just not what we saw.
Right.
It kind of felt like someone who's trying to win an argument on technicalities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when at one point she said it felt like you were ChatGPT, and he's like, well, did you see me on my phone? She's like, no, it's like I'm accusing you of being inauthentic.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, technically he did not take every single thing he wrote and put it into ChatGPT.
Right.
Or whatever. Or but he did sound like this is a guy who, when pressed, said, you didn't give me a chance to outperform those patterns. I reacted with a level of professionalism. Like, you sound fake, bro. Like it's not he was like constantly misunderstanding or deliberately, willfully misinterpreting the criticism that people had for him, which is that he seemed inauthentic.
Yeah, and he was, you know, we've got a lot of attention for talking about Alex's clothing. He dressed like a ChatGPT version of a human being. Like he looked like like I don't know if you have a Fabletics sponsorship or whatever, but people are in there in suits, dude. Like you're just in there in a schleppy shirt and khakis after you already had food in your beard at the wedding. And now this is how you dress for this thing. Like, where are you here, man?
It was off-putting. And the thing is, too, it's with him. Like, I don't like Chris. I was like, no way out. You're on 4K. I actually think Alex could have put together a convincing argument that she was unkind to him, that she didn't need to be so performatively angry at the altar. Or performatively indignant, rather. He could have connected it to his past and said, yeah, I do have instability in my life and I have trouble explaining it but that would have required him to admit vulnerability, as Vanessa pointed out, and he wasn't willing to do that. And I think, again, I know there's a theme here for these men who are completely obsessed with this idea of projecting like strength and whatever, alphaness. It's really hard for them to come across well.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't, you're just not flawless, man. And he just presents himself as a dude who everything that happened wrong was because of somebody else in some circumstance. And he's this guy who is still going to get his bunker in New Zealand or whatever he wants. And, these women just don't once you're going at the host, I don't think anybody's ever really looked good on any reality reunion show going at the host. It just doesn't really work. And so he's the latest. That is a telltale sign of it falling apart.
I don't really have thoughts on her. Wasn't my fave.
Yeah.
She didn't come off great in the next segment. I mean, I actually, okay, let's talk about the next one. Mm-hmm. So they mentioned that Alex has a roommate. He lives in Arizona, the state of his dreams. I don't know. Someone who lived in Arizona, like Grace mother. Yeah, and the roommate is Devo. I think it's telling that this entire season, we didn't hear him consistently called by a nickname that apparently everybody calls him. And that to me captures like how little of this man's personality. First, it starts with a video of Devonta scoring Devo. 5 out of 10 goals on him, which I feel like is a tough showing for Alex, given that he's active play soccer. Okay, Brittany
also,
and
know a lot of Devontaes. Know a few Devontaes. Don't know anyone that goes by Devo. I'm just saying, don't know where Devo.
Well, you know what's crazy? The band Devo is from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That is a decision. I don't know. Okay, so this is the final couple. Well, they go back to Vic and Christine, but all right. So it starts with Brittany. She makes a point that a lot of our commenters made, which is that he knew about the dress in the pods.
Yeah.
Which is why it was kind of BS that he brought it up at the end. Totally fair. This is the one moment where I was a little bit like, with the hosting or the questioning. Vanessa asked if she felt he was gaslighting her.
Yeah.
I'm watching this thinking, like, is it possible to gaslight someone when it's so blatantly clear to anyone with functional eyes and ears that you're not into them?
Yeah.
What was your feeling? And she says, yes, he didn't want to hurt my feelings and be honest with me. Like, what was your feeling watching that interaction?
Gaslighting was a bridge too far for me. Yeah. It was a bridge too far. Like, I get what they're saying. Like, he did keep saying he wanted to be with her, but also any person who watched that or has been in that situation knew that man wanted no parts of her. What I was a little bit surprised by, I think this was probably the biggest failing of the reunion and the host. They didn't ask him about the person of color thing.
That's what was one of my notes is why would they not ask him about whether or not he was not attracted to her?
Yes.
Because her race didn't come up at all.
Yes. Or it's a weird question to ask, but hey, your baby mama, does she look like Brittany? Like, what does she look like?
That was the reveal that he was engaged and has a baby was like when Bartiz came out with his baby. A big like,
yeah.
Like everybody's really uncomfortable even thinking about it. Yeah. Before we get to that, I think with where I'm at with her, and I feel it is like when you have a friend who complains about their significant other for like 2 years and it's obvious they shouldn't be together, and you just hit a point where you're like, I don't want to hear about this anymore.
I don't. Yeah.
Like I don't want to hear. That's how I feel watching her. Where and by the way, apparently he like tried to get back together with her. Like, so she's not totally unreasonable, but it felt like kind of like cringe.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word pathetic. Just like hard to watch in the same way that the finale was very hard to watch. And that's before we get to the great Austin.
The Austin trip. Yeah. Which
I have a potentially divisive take on this.
All right, here we go.
So for those who don't know, I guess they weren't really broken up. I don't know. It seems pretty freaking clear that it was over.
Yeah.
He lied to her, said he was going to a work trip. He went to Austin to see a Rufus concert.
Rufus.
Love is Blind. It just is like, there's a whole other world out there.
Right.
I watch it.
Maybe there's 3 Americas. I don't know.
I think that's right. With girls from the cast, Brie, Ashley, and Priyanka of the Brie, Ashley, Priyanka unit. Mm-hmm. It's kind of positioned as this thing where the girls betrayed her. So this is my take. Clearly, these are not my favorite people on the show.
Uh-huh.
But they don't even seem to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I genuinely do not believe Priyanka didn't even know her.
Priyanka was like, I don't know this lady at all.
So the idea that they should have like double checked his story, and also, who freaking cares if he's like staying at the Airbnb? Like, they're not hooking up with him. I don't know. I just thought it was overplayed as this like big gotcha betrayal moment. And I say that as someone who, you've heard me talk about Brie and Ashley. Like, I'm not fans of theirs, but like this violation of girl code, I just thought it was a little overwrought.
I think it was
his part was different.
His part, I think he grossed everybody out on that trip. I think they kind of made it clear that he got him and Alex are from the same school of scamminess to land in all. Let's get here first. I'll go back to what you said. To land in Austin with 3 women who you're going to go to a concert with and say, oh, I can't confirm my Airbnb. Got to stay with one of you ladies. Sorry, is peak creep sleazeball behavior, right? Now, I do think they probably should have checked in with. Like, I think there was like an unspoken show camaraderie, like
even if they thought they were broken up.
Yeah, just like, hey, you know what's going on? Like, hey, this dude is supposed to go with us. I don't know. I think I don't think it's raised to the level of like super scandal. But I do think they would I do think that there's probably some sort of negative reason that they did not check with them, especially if your man, Alex in this case, you know that he was deeply attracted to Brittany, which I'm not sure if she knew ahead of time, but if if that played a part in it, there may be some sort of. I think it's probably more intentional than not that they didn't reach out to her.
Yeah, I think it was probably more indicative of where the relationships fell than we know, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think, and some of that is because we're so accustomed with the show to dividing along gender lines.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if, forget Priyanka, Brittany and Ashley were closer friends with him than her.
Well, yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, like, if I had a male and female friend who were together, not like a super close friend, but I was closer to the man, and I thought they broke up, it wouldn't be a thing I would feel compelled to do, to check in with a woman that I was not as good friends with. But we don't know.
I think the show kind of like makes it.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different. But I'm also not going to put it past to be like the for them to be like, hey.
I think it also it read poorly because we also had all this other context of Bree and Ashley being kind of, and I thought this was way worse, entertaining the Chris thing.
Yeah.
Jess. So we had this like it was like that informed this, which is like, oh, you guys are not cool, you know,
kind of mean girl type of. Yeah.
I don't like them. I was just like, all right, like this doesn't feel like as big of a drama as some of the other
part of the reason it didn't feel like as big a drama because Brittany was kind of like, I was still wearing my ring and I was doing, and I'm like, why were you? Why were you still wearing the ring?
I think that's also influencing how I feel. Like, I'm sure they were all like, girl, like figure this out. Like, come on. It's her dad has a little TV moment.
Was not, as the kids say, was not giving. It was not giving. Again, like
the internet loved it.
You want to have a reality show moment. Fell flat. Like, what do you like? This dude was. Did you lie to my daughter? Yes. He wanted nothing to do with her.
I'll be honest. My feelings on this were a little bit affected by the internet. Found like a video of Brittany's dad doing like a Asian like a derogatory Asian impression that was in the back of my mind. Watching, I don't really need to be seeing this man on my TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down, why didn't they ask him about the race thing? Okay. That's pretty much it. We get Zach and
Devonta
Bliss.
Lives in Arizona, has a place in Ohio where his baby mama is.
Oh, right. Yes. I completely skipped over the big reveal that he's also got a baby coming, but doesn't live there. I mean, the dude is sketch. Yeah. They're both sketch. Sketch dudes both found each other.
Do you think that they were reality show farming by saying we're living together with roomies? Do you think that they were trying to get a spinoff or something? Like, do you like what are they doing? That feels like a content, like they were trying to get content. We brought this podcast. Right. We brought this video of us like playing soccer together. The two losers from Love Is Blind are people going to date it? Like, it felt like, are they auditioning for Perfect Match or?
Okay. Well, at the end, I'm going to talk about who we think will be on Perfect Match. So put a pin in that. Yeah, I don't know. I want no part of that house.
The toughest hang of all time.
Zach and Bliss, we find out, are having baby number 2 via they have like a video of a gender reveal from his grandma who died. Very sweet. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, followed by the reminder that their original child's name is Galileo.
Yes.
Son's gonna be named, what do you think, Copernicus?
Yeah, something along.
No, they seem very happy, great for them. They called the successful. There was like a moment where they were like, Vic and Christine, join the super Hunger Gamesy, like they ascended. You know, we got to find.
Everybody else fell through a trap door. They were the only people who were.
We got a final Vic and Christine. They're like, all right, say something interesting, please. Yeah. Vic says Christine wears socks in bed. Christine says Vic loves Angry Birds, and he throws trash like he's throwing a basketball, which, like, do people not do that? Yeah. That's literally how I throw every trash away. Then he gods it up a little bit at the end. Mm-hmm. He gods it. It's important. He does it in a non-toxic way.
Yeah.
He says, I serve Christine. That's how we do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My religious guys out there. That's how it's done.
Yeah, there you go.
No, again, they're lovely. We really, really like them. They get a honeymoon from TurboTax. And then we get the obligatory final musical performance. So
by Rufus. No.
Had you heard of Forrest Blake and Joy Williams before this?
I had not, and I'm dying to know the booking process for these people who.
Well, okay, but so I don't know if it was last season or 2 seasons ago. I think it must have been last season. They had that dude Alex Warren come out and perform that song "Ordinary," which when they did that, I was like, "Who's this?" And then that became like the most popular song in America. So apparently, they've got a good.
Yeah, it's the bump. It's your like being on Good Morning America or something.
That like this dude did the Love Is Blind reunion because he played at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Final power rankings of Love Is Blind Ohio, obviously. Vic and Christine. Pantheon couple.
Angry Birds. She's not wearing her socks. You know what time it is, Vic.
That was cute. All right, Jess too. Easy. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go my man Connor. He seems like the good name.
Connor's a good dude.
Okay, now we're in the middle. That's the top tier right there.
That's it. Yeah.
Connor made it into the top tier for me. Yeah. I thought he handled the Chris stuff great. He's just
a great little
good with the mustache.
Punching bag. Just out there taking it.
All right, we're in the middle class now. This is tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Mike here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with it. I like Mike. Yeah.
Mike's fine. I think he was justified. He's in a relationship with a woman who clearly wants to have children.
Yeah.
So I might surprise people, but I'm gonna put Jordan next.
Ooh.
That he could have really taken an L in this reunion, and he came out.
Yeah. He's pretty. The dad who stepped down.
Is there anyone? Okay, we'll wait till we get to the held tier, but because now we're in the like. I mean, I'll put Emma here.
Okay, yeah.
I might have put her above Jordan.
We'll put her above Jordan.
But it's about the same.
Yeah.
All right, at 7. Oh, God, this is getting really tough. I'm gonna put Brittany here, even though I just made fun of her, and just she didn't do anything wrong.
So her heart's in the right place. Well, her heart is quite literally in the wrong places, but I mean, she's got a good. All
right,
she's got a good faith effort.
I am going to put. I can't believe it, but I'm going to put Brie here.
Yeah.
Not my fave.
Don't feel good.
I know, but like. This is tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm going to put Amber, who honestly is only here because she's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, so they were down to
Trash
4.
and Chris did wonders for her.
It was incredibly funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw Ashley here.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley.
Yeah.
And then now we're to the bottom 3. All right. I think you can guess how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Devonta, 11. Alex, 12.
Yeah.
And then Chris,
13.
I saw somebody on Threads post a picture of him, with the hair and the black on black, and said he looked like a disgraced tech founder. And I posted, it's like when somebody from the Forbes 30 under 30 gets arrested every year. That's what he looked like to me. Yeah. He's not.
I wonder if Chris ever knew that he was on the show at all, or if he ever knew he was on the reunion.
It was hard to watch. Yeah. It was hard to watch. Well, it was great to watch because it was a great reunion. Yeah. Well done.
Yeah. Good reunion.
Loved it.
Way to go.
All right. Let's take a quick break. Come back and talk about this week's Paradise. All right, David, you and I have been talking about recapping Paradise. So we're going to do 3 episodes because I think this is the third. There's 8 total, right? 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's 3 more. I don't know. Anyways.
There's 3 more. Yeah. So we've made it through 5.
It's 5, yeah.
Yeah. So we got 3 more to go.
Let's real quick check in before we talk about this episode. How are you feeling about this season up to this point? Because, first season, and this often happens with like Bunker or a post-apocalypse type shows.
Yeah.
It was so contained, right? Mm-hmm. It was a mystery. They were underground. They were in the bunker. And then when you expand into the world, this is similar to Fallout, which we recap. People sometimes feel like the show has lost its tension. Mm-hmm. I think it was an interesting and kind of bold decision to move off of the main characters at the beginning with the Shailene Woodley plot, which I know was divisive among some people. How have you felt about this season thus far at the midpoint?
I think people are kind of forgetting how last season started. Like last season, it wasn't as disjointed, but it kind of took its second. I think that's why they do 3 episodes out the gate. I think I just watch this and feel like I'm in good hands. Like this guy just knows how to make TV shows. Like like you just watch some shows, it's just like Shonda Rhimes, like you kind of know it's going to go a certain way. Things are not going to fall off the rails for the most part, and you're in good hands. You're going to be fine by the end of the season. Like I just have full trust over what he's doing pretty much at all times.
There's really not many shows like this, at least that I watch, where it's almost like these are my stories.
Yeah.
I watch the stories. Yeah. Like they're just, it's not trashy. That's the wrong way to describe it, but it is a little bit. It's that sort of rare, that drama, entertaining.
Yeah. And you can watch it on whatever level I think you want. You know what I'm saying? Like you can watch Paradise as just like face value show, take me on the ride, and we'll go there. Or you can like dig into it. I mean, it is just like if this show was on NBC every Wednesday at 8 p.m., it would fit perfectly. Like that's kind of how it feels.
Well, I think that's what it is. It feels almost like another time. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I guess Lost, but like there doesn't feel like there's shows like this really that many shows like this anymore. It's so different from like a Pluribus. Like we're not going to get a single 45-minute episode of Xavier like building a grave.
Right.
Like,
right.
That's just not what this. This is. It's a soap.
Right.
That's the word I'm looking for. It's an elevated soap.
Right.
It is the La Durée of television. And I like it.
This Is Us was like that. This Is Us was just like, it was just, there are things, it was way more episodes per season. So it could kind of go off and come back on. But I just felt like at the end, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to really enjoy this. I'm not going to really ever be let down by what I'm seeing.
The plots, the writing is, you could say maybe at times like a little sensationalist, but it's always entertaining. It's tight. The actors are very good for the most part. I'd say exceptional. So it's premium. Premium sweets. All right. Well, so and to go back to kind of the season question, I thought Shailene Woodley smashed it, man. Like she was. I've never had really strong opinions about her as an actress. I watched Big Little Lies, but I thought she was great. And like it was, I love anything in this show that shows, and this is why I really like this episode, what it was like when the world ended.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I thought the best episode last season was the episode where the world ended.
Yeah.
That was scintillating.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed these few episodes of being like, here's what happened. Because it makes you think about like, what would I do? And it feels real, right? Like what would I get in the mailman's truck?
Yeah. I'm with you. The actual, and I think they're smart to do that to give you more of the actual apocalypse. Because there's always questions about it. It's never-ending stories about the kind of similar to how Marvel takes you back to the blip from time to time. Like you can always have different angles and different ways to do it, and exactly what happened. And I think they go back to it whenever they need to, and it's absolutely amazing every time.
It really is, especially because this is a climate change apocalypse, which makes it feel really scary every time. It feels real. It doesn't feel like aliens or something. It's.
Did you look up the super volcano last season?
Oh God, is this going to happen? All right. Well, so this season, so at the end of, or probably this episode, at the end of the last episode, Xavier meets up with the mailman Gary. Who in a very convoluted, he's like, they took her. She was my best friend. It's like, is she dead? His language is really weird. And this picks up right where it left off. Xavier with the baby. By the way, how's the baby getting formula? Someone who's had a baby. I'm just how they're.
I don't know how they're feeding the baby. Yeah.
Somebody who kept Target in business for 2 years. I do not understand how this is happening, but whatever. And he, in a combination of the present tense, but mostly flashbacks, find out what happened to Terry. And it starts with Gary's, just the mailman Gary's, like very quotidian. He works in Georgia. He listens to the Counting Crows. He gets chased by dogs. He goes home. He games. And he meets through the internet another guy whose handle is Normus P. Ennis. And it shows them talking to each other about the possibility of apocalypse and prepping. did this feel? It's funny because we just been talking about the manosphere and all this stuff. Did it, which is sort of tangential to prep culture? Did this feel like something that would happen to you?
Yeah, absolutely,
becoming friends and
becoming buddies, and the natural progression, like you said, that sort of parallel of all of these, or even the intersection of all of these different interests that always lead you back to that incel culture, which in large part starts with Gamergate in general, right? Like there's that whole thing too. So there was always this feeling that one of these dudes was going to be incel type of dudes, and
the feint of the trick of the episode is it sets you up to I think it's Ennis. Yeah, I think it was very believable, especially when you consider that at that time that guy, the scientist, I wrote down his name, I forget it. It's like Laj, the volcano guy was out there, and people were. It's a little bit unclear, but you knew the government was taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And so it's believable that other people Dr. Loesch.
Yeah.
Started to take it seriously, perhaps.
Yeah.
And that's something we saw like in the flashbacks from last season. It was kind of getting around a little bit. It's funny because again, it's like, well, you could really draw a line to climate change now, but I think it is funny. Like if a guy like that now was out there issuing warnings, would anyone take it seriously?
We just know billionaires are building these bunkers all over the world now. So.
So yeah, I too found their relationship believable. I found their plan believable. Gary figures out that post offices were fallout shelters, and he starts preparing one for them. There's a great moment of foreshadowing where they talk about putting together the crew, and he suggests a military guy, and Gary says, "What happens with the guy with the gun turns on us?" Which, the only thing that I didn't find believable was that Ennis would have been able to convince anyone to do this with them.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Oh, I met a hot nurse." Like, where?
Right.
Where did he find random carpenter man? And how did he convince him to? Like, it doesn't quite.
Well, we only know. I guess it's because we only know Ennis through Gary's what he says. Ennis might be a nicer guy, but yeah, it did seem weird that he would like recruit people to be part of this thing when he doesn't. He's not the outgoing person. He doesn't seem to be able to, unless they're all gamers and it's through the gamer stuff. But I don't know.
That would have been more believable to me if they had shown up and it had been more like gamer looking people.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It is it is believable that when the world starts ending, they show up. And we got to do something here. And I found this whole sequence like riveting. Like when they're in a hurry, it's similar to last, like, what would you do? It's like helicopters are falling out of the sky. Ennis pulls up, they take a look at each other. I'm like, all right, this is what we look like. They drive past. So Gary, the mailman, has been interacting with this kid who's like this abandoned child who lives alone, and he sees him and he insists on bringing him, which is again a very interesting writing because they do a lot of things to make us feel like Gary is a good guy and it's not, and this is one of them. A good guy would save a child, right? Even though he doesn't. In that process is when they interact with Terry. So this season we've really gotten to know her a bit. We continue to more in this episode, but in the previous episode we see her meeting Xavier and whatnot. Like, how do you feel about her characterization and like her importance to the show?
Yeah, Terry's great. Terry is. I think her. I have a weird sort of like existential thing with Sterling K. Brown. And like seeing him with other women, but that's not either his wife or Beth from This Is Us. And I'm like, who is this woman? But they are, they work. I think she works. Her characterization is like sort of like tough as nails, military lady, but smart and kind of has this sort of like soft heart.
Scientist, she's a mycologist, right?
Yeah, studies mushrooms. I think it's good. It's great.
Yeah, it's been nice to get to know her a little bit too. I think is if we're to believe that Xavier is doing all of this, and she's that important, I think we need to have it justified to us a little bit. I I think it's also, again, like it is believable that she joins them. It's not.
I mean, she kind of didn't have a choice. Like, yeah, I agree. Yeah, she has the kid. She believes this dude. She's a good judge of character. She has to save this kid. I'm with it. Yeah.
Pulls up. They get in the fallout shelter. I find this stuff so interesting. Like, what would the first 20 days be like?
Yeah.
They've planned it all out. They believe nuclear bombs have gone off. We know that they've not because they've been stopped by the EMP device or the whatever we call that. But they set up a little society. I find this stuff fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Like, they raise the chicks, they build things, and then they develop this like little society in the shelter. It's, I don't know, because these are the parts when I'm watching where I always think about, like, what would I do? Who would I be with? How would we manage? And we can continue to,
because they have to stay in. They stayed in there for
the first 21 days. They have like a little sign up before they go out, but even then they're like, it's still not safe. It's like too cold. It's not quite clear. I think my understanding is that, like, they come out, they realize there's no nuclear,
right,
whatever, but that the world is still unsafe and cold. They do like Christmas. We don't, again, the show is not making us worried about Gary.
Right.
It's showing us Ennis, who, like, when the Crystal, the nurse, falls in love with Jackie, the mechanic, we see a lot of, like, Ennis glowering and whatnot. And they're very clearly trying to make you suspect him.
Right, yeah.
I should have mentioned, Gary says to Xavier at the beginning, Ennis betrayed us. It was Ennis. Right. So it's like we're seeing all this through the lens of Gary's storytelling, right? So then there's this moment where Gary builds a radio. Don't know how he learned, but I guess they're able to get books if they're able to leave by then, for Terry, and he tries to kiss her. She says no, and he immediately says it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, pause. Did you, at this point?
Yep.
This is exactly. I was like, nope, ain't no way.
Yeah, yep. This is it. He did it. He did it. Like, there's even when the world ends, the incel will still handle, or just the man in general will still handle rejection from a woman in the worst way possible, even when there's nobody left in the world. So
I saw, like, a lot of people were surprised by the twist at the end when we learned that. I was not. I literally turned to my husband. I was like, "Oh no, he's lying." Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I think maybe a little surprised by sort of the ruthlessness of the turn at the end, which we'll get to. But, like, I'm not at all surprised.
I also, because, again, it's a very well written show, very well crafted, but, like, his story was so weird at the beginning. It was like a bunch of people came and took her, and it doesn't nothing about it really makes sense. He says Ennis sold us out, but he takes Xavier and shows him where they are, but he just acts so weird. I don't know. Even the language, like I said at the end of the last episode, he's like, they took her. It just doesn't. Nothing about this guy.
Yeah, you kept calling it my partner. Our child,
my part. Yeah, he like legit, clearly thought they were a fan. I think the mystery here, and we'll get to this at the end, is whether Xavier's buying it.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Well, okay. By the way, let's just take a moment to acknowledge being in love with a woman for 3 years, and then her husband shows up, and it's Sterling K.
Right.
What do the kids call it? Brutally frame mogged?
Yeah. It's you. You got to feel like I wasted the last 3 years of my life pursuing this woman.
She's a beautiful woman, but, like, even like Sterling K. Brown, my God.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I'm glad that they made him, like, he is so fit that they had to write it into the story of This Is Us to, like, explain why he looks like he did. And now it's because he's like a secret, like a security, like an agent. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. But there's always got to be a storyline reason why this dude looks how he looks.
You remember last season when, for no reason whatsoever, they gave us the shower
section?
But
they gave us this butt for no reason.
My husband and I were talking, I was like, do you think they did a focus group and a woman raised their hands and said, I have some thoughts?
If he was just, I think they were just kind of like, this show is kind of outrageous. I want to make sure we get a season 2. Sterling butt. Like, that's what we need.
Lock it in. Guarantee it. Yeah, anyways, poor Gary.
We never got anything else from that. Anyway, that relationship, they just had sex one night and they just called it. It never revisited again.
That character is not my favorite.
No.
Or whatever. She has, yeah. Yeah, it's very funny that he's so hot. There's like a group of actors and actresses where I think they're so hot it actually limits some of the opportunity. Who was I thinking about this with? There's a few, but
well, we talked about what, Pierre?
Oh, Aaron Pierre and Lance.
Aaron Pierre in the movie where they're like with the big action movie on Netflix, where he's sort of like extremely too hot to be out there.
Yes. I actually, that movie, he plays a villain in this.
Okay.
Have you seen the trailer for this new movie he's in about, it's like a woman, or these two sisters who are blinded?
Oh, okay.
In this trailer? It looks really cool. And he plays the bad guy. And I'm because that's the other thing about Sterling K. Brown. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, can't ever be a bad dude. Yeah.
And decent. And I'm like, maybe a bad guy. I'm actually kind of intrigued by that. I would also argue the guy who plays Link, who we get a little shout out to, is also a little bit too hot.
A little bit too attractive. Yes, I got it.
Pulls up, and I'm like, all right, what are you, scientist? It's like when in GoldenEye, I think, at the end when Denise Richards plays the physicist.
Yeah.
And she's like, Christmas always, because her name's Dr. Christmas or something. The final joke is Christmas always comes in December or something. Anyways, this is a digression. We should do a pantheon of like actor or a ranking of actors who are too hot to play ordinary people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the dude, like the guy from The Good Place, Black dude from The Good Place. His body was way too good.
Oh yeah, he's in the wonderful show that you and I both love on HBO.
Yeah, on season 2, it was like they how do you not address how he looks like that with his shirt off? There's got to be some sort of. There need to be at least 3 scenes where somebody like that.
Love Life.
There's got to be at least 3 scenes where you're in the gym looking like that.
Yeah, it is.
Great show, great season of television, by the way.
This must be a conversation agents have. Like, you got to just add a few pounds, my guy. Like, you're not getting normal guy roles.
Yeah.
All right, so. Anyways, sorry, really. So they do. Ennis smashes the radio. We learn she gets, and then we see that the world is coming back. It's warming up. Everybody's leaving. Crystal and Jackie are going to the Thunderdome, they call it. So the swap meet. Terry's going to drive to Colorado with her like biofuel. All right, and Bean. And then this train shows up. Ennis and Gary go over to check it out, and it turns out they're part of the Link's crew. Yeah. They're like good people. They're like, I think the woman said she was like Doctors Without Borders or something like that. Yeah. And they leave, and Ennis is like, yeah, and like, like now she can just hop on that train like crazy. The second he said that, I was like, "This Ennis, I mean, not."
Ennis, your time is done.
My husband was surprised, so my husband was legit gassed. I feel like he drove on his bus, but maybe people at more. I don't know. It was great. I mean, it was again, even if we clocked it, it was still that pretty good.
There's a we talk about focus groups and like audience research. People who gasp at the end, likely to sign up for a timeshare.
Okay, so but in the present tense, there's a couple things that make one think that perhaps Xavier might be onto it, or at least has some degree of suspicion. He doesn't let Gary hold his baby.
Yeah.
And then they go to the Thunderdome, the swap meet, and they meet Crystal and Jackie. First of all, if you're Xavier, you have to be, I guess, peaked, or you have to know the fact that, okay, so their whole crew disappeared and they did
right. Yeah.
And it didn't go over to tell them. That seems a lot. He tries to get he's building a bomb because he wants to rescue his wife, and he trades in a gun for a car battery or something, and then he immediately gives the baby to the lesbian couple, and Gary's upset by that, and he talks about story time and whatnot. But we, the audience, wonder if he's onto it a little bit. And then it's kind of where we end things with like we see the scene of him shooting Ennis, and then Xavier's like, "I know you're hiding something from me," and Gary says, well, I didn't tell you this, but I loved Terry, but I know she didn't feel that way about me. But I want to honor that by helping you get to her, and let's shake hands. So that's how we end things.
Yeah.
So do you think there's any chance Xavier doesn't know?
Xavier absolutely knows. He absolutely knows. I think what kind of gave it away when they were like, Ennis broke the thing, and Xavier was like, that MF. Like it was so like he's playing along with Gary. I think the bomb is to maybe blow a hole in the wall or something at the thing to get his wife out wherever she's being held captive by Gary. He it seems to be like I think she's probably left him some sort, like there's probably messages somewhere, you know what I'm saying, like that she's maybe left him, that she's not safe or something like that. Maybe it is in the book that they have that they were reading. I think they were reading what was the book, the haircut book or whatever, limited snicket or whatever.
Oh yeah, kids book. Yeah.
Maybe there's some clues that she's leaving him or something like that.
Disappear.
That kind of lets you know that she's in danger or something like that. I think that'll probably be.
Yeah, I think the mystery will. There's still a lot of remaining mysteries, even though we know that Gary is a bad guy. Which is, how did he do it? How did he? Perhaps these people, we don't know who they are.
Yeah,
because it's not the train, right? Maybe they did capture them, but it was always like, why?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
But anyways, maybe he I don't know, offered them something in exchange for imprisoning her, or maybe I think the only thing that you'd be really, I don't think this is likely, but what if he killed all of them? What if he killed her?
Yeah, I don't. No, he
definitely didn't kill her.
Yeah.
We're going to see her again.
Yeah.
But I think the next few episodes, so there's a lot else going on, in the bunker, and we know Link is over at the bunker already demanding to be let in. But I think as far as what's happening in Atlanta, this is the sort of this season. This is what we're going to find out, which is what actually happened to Terry. And it's cool because I like hyper functional super soldier Xavier. Like it's fun to see this guy be really, his whole thing as a character, right, is that he's just like the most competent person.
Right.
Alive.
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown.
Where are you on time travel here in the show?
What do you mean? Oh, like the flashbacks back and forth, or?
So the prevailing theory is that there, and I'm kind of buying into some of it. The prevailing theory is that there is some sort of time wiminess happening here, that there is some sort of time thing. And so here are the clues that we have for time shenanigans, right? There are people who believe that the show was time travel, which we can get to in a second. But here's what we know. We know that they are building something in the bunker.
Alex
they're building this thing out that they're siphoning energy towards, right? We know that when what Samantha was trying to purchase a thing from the guy what he was studying was some sort of like vortex time stuff that they ended up killing him for, right? There's the nosebleeds. There's really random nosebleeds. Visions and nosebleeds.
Of Link.
Right.
So Sterling K. Brown is having visions of Link and vice versa.
Right. And Link had nosebleeds. Sterling K. Brown had nosebleeds. The assassin guy had nosebleeds. Sterling K. Brown. There is Arkansas as a place where something weird is happening, where you cannot go to, right? Where we know that Sterling K. Brown, like Link says, don't go through Arkansas. Sterling K. Brown was passing through sort of that area when he got the nosebleed when it crashed. So there is some sort of prevailing thing that there is time. And then also when they asked, I call it Samantha, but Sinatra, when they ask her about, one of the things she talks about is what can solve this. This is one thing you can't have more of is time. You can't have more of time. Like there's that. So there's this prevailing idea that time shenanigans are part of the show. Now, I don't think that Alex is them walking into a portal and walking out in a different, in the past to try to fix all this. I don't think that's what's going on, but there is some time stuff happening, whether it is putting, like affecting the past in different ways or something. But there seems to be, which is a very bold move for a show like this, like kind of is a lost.
People are like lost, right?
Yeah.
We are going full sci-fi here.
Yeah. So there is some sort of shenanigan. So what stuck out to me is if we're talking about time and things happen past and all this stuff, like we don't know, like there's a possibility that this baby is fully grown in some other sort of way, that they're in parallel dimensions or whatever. But also what I can't stop thinking about is the fact that Xavier goes to Graceland, right? And and his oldest child's name is Presley, and it does not come up. Like that's the thing that I can't, that like has me thinking that we're getting some real sort of time shenanigans somewhere.
Yeah.
And it does, because he does not get there and say, "Hey, Graceland, that's funny." Like that doesn't happen.
So true.
So it lends itself to believe that they're going full sci-fi. Link has because Link, of course, was the protege of,
and we knew they were working on some sort of technology.
Yeah.
And we also know, right, that the scientist tells Billy, the Secret Service person who's dead, if you let this kid live, you could save the world.
Yes. Yeah.
So we know whatever technology they developed there, which is probably connected to what Sinatra is doing. I think it raises two questions. Either you could restart the world. That's what I had been assuming.
Yeah.
Or, and this is what, if there was a time element, it could reverse.
Yeah. 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 Also, the guy, when he gets killed, hands Billy the tissue, says you're going to need this before the nosebleed, and he gives this speech about, I hope this is all, like kind of like, I hope everything, you're meant to be here for whatever reason. That's what I choose to believe. Everything happens for a reason. That type of stuff. So I think,
less like time portal, like let's go back in time, and you can actually communicate across.
Yeah.
I could see that, like he's Link talking to Xavier, someone telling him to name the kid Presley, whatever. Like there could be like resonances, and which would raise the question of like, if somebody had the ability to actually warn humanity, would have humanity have done it?
Right. Yeah.
I could see it going in that direction.
Yeah. So there's some time stuff happening. We've never seen Terry with the kids.
Yeah.
Never seen it with the kids. I know there has been questions about that. Now that's part of the Reddit thing. It's like they've never seen it with the kids. What does that mean? Who knows? I think that this is where we have to be, very litigious in the way that we go through threads, because it gets like, I think that, like I said, when we talk time, I think people are of the assumption that this is going to be like Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
You walk through a portal, you come out, and you tell the president the world's going to end. Right. Let's stop it, and then everything's fine. And you do. I think it's going to be more complicated. Again, like we talk about having faith in the showrunner.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have something better than that.
I do think like people watch TV now and like they over sci-fi things.
Yeah.
Like you saw this with Alien Earth. There was just like always theories that are a little bit beyond. But the show is telling us that, to your point, like there's something supernatural happening. He has visions of Link. It's not a theory. It happens in the show. So I do think like one of the central questions is why. Yeah. Why is he having dreams of this guy? And that could be related to the technology for sure. I assumed it was just like the reverse EMP kind of thing. But it's a good theory, and I'm sure we'll let us know in the comments what you think, because we're going to be covering this. You know what? And if we do manage to put this out early next week, maybe we'll recap the Oscars too.
There we go.
About that. I got my dad's takes. I sent them.
Let's get spicy. How many of the best pictures have you seen?
I've seen a lot.
Okay.
I've seen like maybe 7.
Okay, gotcha.
My parents watch every movie. So they're just like, and my dad's, I compared it to like a swing state voter. Like they make no sense. They're just all over. It's not like they're just so random.
Like one of those focus groups at the end of the like State of the Union, where they're just like, I like the way that
his favorite 2 movies. He has to be the only person on earth whose favorite 2 movies of the group were Sinners and Song Sung Blue.
Oh, okay.
The Neil Young.
Right.
Absolutely unhinged person. All right. We'll be back early next week, I hope, to talk about the next episode of Paradise. Thank you for everyone who joins us for Love is Kimes. This has been really fun this year or this season. And thanks as always to Charlie and Brian. We're out.